In a recent survey, almost a quarter of women spend less than an hour on themselves without distraction, despite 80% thinking self-care supports their mental health. Love Island's Olivia Bowen is encouraging women to take time for themselves, and she joins me now. So Olivia, hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Very well today. Yeah, we're down in Cornwall, so the sun is getting through. We're going to have a nice day, I think. How about you?
Beautiful. Well, I am in London. I haven't actually seen the sun this morning because I was up quite early, but I'm sure it will shine through soon.
Well, this is the thing. This is what we're going to talk about, getting our self-care and looking after ourselves. So why do you think so many women don't make time for self-care?
I think there's a number of reasons. After recently becoming a mum, I think that's probably one of the big ones. I think you sort of learn to take care of someone else and you forget about yourself. The day-to-day mundane things take over and we sort of push ourselves to the back and we don't realise how much self-care can actually improve our mental well-being, improve people around us, and just generally how we feel. I think is really underrated, and I'm just wanting to sort of use this campaign to teach people that it's so important to look after yourself.
And I know you talked about baby AJ and you've talked on Instagram recently about the struggles, because being a new mum, I mean, it's such a daunting experience. I mean, how are you finding it now?
Yeah, it's good. It's hard work, and I think I never quite appreciated how hard it was when I had friends as mums. But it is so beautiful, and just watching him learn and learn different things every day is crazy, and do different things like learning to walk, learning to run. He's trying to speak. So yeah, it's a mad thing watching this little person you created like come to life.
So how do you look after your mental health? I mean, thinking for new mums, what would be your top tips from what you've learned in the last year, 18 months?
I mean, there's a number of things. I think for someone that has suffered with anxiety sort of my whole life, I think doing lists is a big one. That is like my main thing, doing lists. And also what we're here to talk about today. Look, I am a number one fan of self-care, and I think it's about prioritizing certain things over others. So I have a horse and I love to go and visit her, whether that's grooming her or riding her. And I think it's just about finding a hobby or an interest or something that just makes you feel lighter. And for me, that is, going to the stables and going for walks. So it's just about sort of enabling that time for yourself.
Yeah, I've got to ask you as well, how's your physical health as well? Because you did break your wrist doing the horse riding earlier in the year. I mean, how's that going now?
Yeah, I was actually training for a charity horse race. So I was riding race horses. I mean, it sounds a bit crazy when I say it, and I actually fell off one and broke my wrist. But it is getting there. It's a lot better. I'm back riding, back in the gym, doing physio. So we're getting there. I'm gutted because I didn't get to partake in the race, but it was actually the day before my brother's wedding. So he was quite relieved because he was like, Liv, this is too risky.
So many events coming up. I mean, this is the thing. We have such busy schedules, and you have the busiest schedule of anyone. So, I mean, that must be really difficult to juggle everything and look after your mental and physical health at the same time.
It is hard to juggle, but I feel this is the point. I think it's not about, we've said in the research that it's women are only spending like just under an hour. But the thing is, you don't need the hour all in that one go. If you can sort of just set aside 10 minutes, I promise you will feel so much better for it. Like, that's why I do prioritize it, because I do have such a busy schedule. And I think even more so when we have busy lives and we're sort of running around thinking about everyone else, we need to find that time for ourselves, because it will really, really impact you. I've struggled with it for a long time, and I think I really love this, and I love talking about this because I know how much it's helped me, and I know how much it will help someone else. Just doing that little extra 10 minutes, like going for a walk, having a cup of tea, or painting your nails, or do you know what I mean? Just finding something that gives you that nice feeling.
Yeah, it's finding that activity. I mean, for you, horse riding, that must be amazing to be out in the open air and to just forget about things for a while. I know for some people it's exercise. For me,
for sure,
running. I'm playing tennis in about an hour's time.
Oh, you're a runner.
Yeah,
I'm trying to run.
I never used to be. I was the kid at school that couldn't run. I was always back of the class, got picked last for sport. Now,
that's like me.
Yeah, and
that was rubbish.
And now I've done a half marathon. I do a 5K every Saturday on park run. I try and do a couple of 10Ks a month if I can. But I don't see myself as a runner, even though I've been doing it a few years. But it's the thing.
That is a runner. I'm telling you, you're a runner.
But that's the thing, finding something, whatever it is, and if that's not your, if that's not your thing, just being out in the open air. I mean, for us, we're down in Cornwall, we're lucky. We've got the sea scenery, but just
So
finding an
beautiful.
open space, even, in the central London, finding somewhere that you can just go and take an hour's time. So, I mean,
Yeah, fresh air is just like amazing for your mental health and your well-being. Just getting out and breathing, it is so incredible. So if you're not a runner, you can be a walker. It's a lot easier.
but I'm interested in this. So you're going, do you think you might take up running? Can we like meet up in a year's
I
time and
do
find out?
run. I do run. I'm just not very good. I'm not naturally gifted at running, I won't lie. I'm better on a horseback galloping. That's much more my thing.
Well,
But
I'm thinking,
I am trying.
I'm thinking we give you a challenge because for me, I did the Couch to 5K, which is brilliant. You can
Yeah,
learn at your
I
own
did
pace.
try that.
And I think the only thing with it is just the finding the time, as we're talking about today, just finding that sort of 20 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Because I think for some people, they kind of do a week or two and think, oh, actually, this is something new, and new things can be challenging. You don't always, unless you have that motivation to keep going. But once you get past a couple of weeks, you'll find it yourself. I'm sure you get it through other things that you do, but you suddenly get that runner's high and you feel that you're doing something amazing.
No, definitely. I started doing it and I couldn't even run sort of like 1K down the road. And now you sort of, when you get up to that like 3, 4, 5K, you're like, oh my God, I can do this. And when you start seeing the progress, that's when it will really impact you and you'll feel really good.
No, exactly. I mean, that was the same for me. But I mean, thinking as well, sort of, for people that maybe physical exercise isn't quite for them, are there other kind of tips that you can give us? Maybe some big or small ideas that have either helped you or that you think would be quite good for people?
It depends on the person that you are. Like, I mean, some people like to sort of curl up and read a book. Some people like to do beauty treatments. Like I said, with my hair removal thing, like that, for me, it's just something I like doing. I sit on the couch and I'll turn it on and I'll just do that for 5 minutes. And that's, for me, it takes my mind down. I think it's about finding anything that calms your mind, whether that be like painting, or you could read, or you could go for a walk, or, there's places you can go visit dogs if animals are your thing. So there's so many things that you can do. I think it's just about, again, finding the time and allowing yourself to actually look into it and think, no, I deserve this. I deserve to go and find something that calms me.
Yeah. And having that social connection as well is so important, isn't it? Being around people. We're coming into those autumn and winter months and it's getting colder. We tend to hibernate a little bit. Is there any ways that you think, I mean, reading obviously a good thing, but being part of groups is a really good thing. Even just chatting with a friend, meeting up for a coffee, that kind of thing really helps, doesn't it?
100%. And I think, like, just think of the hot chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Think of the hot chocolate and go meet a friend and in a nice little cafe, but I get that it's hard to go out, and I get that sometimes you're not really up for it. And I think even using things like just ring someone and have a little chat, that always makes me feel better. I always ring my mom. If I'm feeling a bit down, she's always the one that I sort of go to. And as the saying always goes, a problem shared and all that is a problem halved. And it actually, I know it's such a cliche, but it's so true. When I talk to my mum, she just makes me feel like, oh, okay, it actually isn't that bad. Usually when you write something down or you say it to someone, it doesn't feel half as bad once it's sort of in the air.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely just being able to chat to someone would help.
I mean, our big thing, and I found this myself, through mental issues that I've had in the past with anxiety, not talking about it is the worst thing you can do. The moment you talk is the moment, for me, that had the relief that did more than anything else. And we're coming up to World Mental Health Day very soon. I mean, is there anything that, from a wider angle, we're talking about having conversations, and as I say, talking is so important. Are there other sort of little things that you think, when you've had those, times in your life, maybe things you wish you'd done, or things that you think?
I think I always wish that I'd told someone sooner. Sort of when I started feeling worse, I always wish that I'd done that sooner. Actually, this is quite well timed because I just started therapy again last week. I used to do it a few years ago, but I started again last week, and I wish that I'd started way before that. And I think just get that little ounce of confidence you have just to go and do something about it. And I know it's really hard, but even if you just tell one person that you're most comfortable with, it will make all of the difference. I also love writing things down. I always feel like writing things down helps me, listing things out, especially if you have anxiety. Trying to order your thoughts onto paper does make the biggest difference.
And where can we go to find out a bit more that we've been talking about today?
Yeah, no problems. You can go over to the Philips website, or I also will be doing some posts, videos, tutorials, and chatting about it on my social media as well. So you can head over there.
Fantastic. And hopefully we'll catch up again soon, and hopefully you'll be running and we can find out. We can get a personal best on the 5K.
Marathon. Could you imagine?
How amazing would that be? That's brilliant.
No, defo. So thanks for talking.
Cheers then. Bye-bye. Bye.